kind of segue into our topic tonight. Thanks for jumping on. We got many of those who are going to be watching the recordings. We do this every Tuesday, Trading Topic Tuesdays. We do it for you guys. We do it for us as well, but we do it for you guys where we put together our knowledge and experience over 14 years going on, and we just want to share, talk anything, everything trading. And tonight's topic is going to be part two of what we started last week, which is what was it? Process over profits,
Process over
right? Yeah.
profits.
So
Yep.
tonight's topic is going to be treating trading like a business. Because at the end of the day, guys, no matter how you look at it, you can't just go with the name of being a trader. Dude, what are you in to trade for? You're trading for a profit, right? You're trading to come out at the end profitable and positive, net positive. But there's all these things that go along with starting to trade. You got brokers' fees, you got commissions, round trips, you got data fees. If you're trading futures, you got to go purchase data every month from the different exchanges. You got um, the spreads. You got, what else do you got, Read? Oh, equipment. Freaking Sam, you got one killer setup over there. Thanks for sharing that. Like, I blew my account too many times, so I can't afford another screen. Nah, but jokes aside, you got
Bro,
expenses.
it's an amazing thing. You get all these screens for fairly cheap.
But yeah, I
But you
mean,
don't need them, right? You don't need it. That's I think that's the
No, no, absolutely. You don't need it. I could trade off of one screen. I
there you
just
go.
I like to use a bunch of different data to help with my thesis.
Yeah. It definitely helps though. Like in the long run, it'll help. But as a beginner trader, that you definitely it's not something that you have to do before you place your first trade. Like I need two monitors. I need a high speed MacBook
I
computer or
mean,
something.
you just use that excuse to go and purchase the best kind of
Yeah.
computer or desktop. You know what I mean? Like, we still like our toys. We still like our gear.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's also
True.
creates a bad habit, right? It's like, oh, I'm a loser trader because I don't have these extra screens,
Yep.
or if I don't have the perfect indicators, or chasing that perfection is terrible.
Yeah, you're using that scapegoat mentality, that those
Yeah.
excuses,
Yeah,
you're
I
not
mean,
owning it.
that's another topic in itself. It's finding justification for doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? But going back to tonight's topic, we're gonna be talking about how to treat it like a business, and we're gonna be sharing some good stuff on practical tips. I think, like, it's not groundbreaking, guys. It's good to be reminded, or if not, it's good to be checked, knowing that, like, okay, you know what, I'm a little bit off course. One of these tips hopefully will help me in getting back in line and continuing on. Or, like, because at the same time, we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs with our trading, right? And not, if you're not aware of certain things, we're leaking costs. Like, I'm like, why am I'm making profit in my trades, but yet I'm still net negative. This is something I found out from, for me. Like, I would day trade or intraday trade, and I didn't realize how much these freaking brokers at the time were making off of me, dude. I think it was 3 4 bucks per round per trade. That was my commission, or the fee. And I was like, wow, what's going on? And so at the same time, back in the day, I was going for smaller moves, and therefore you could totally see that my profit was getting eaten up. And so, prep this for you guys.
Ooh, very nice.
Trading, like, you guys can see that, right?
Yep.
So trading can't be treated like a hobby. That's one thing that you hear all these people. So on social media, or if you meet new people or friends, they're like, "Oh yeah, I dabble in the markets." Right? And I've learned to kind of not be like, that raises a flag for me when people say that, dabble, because you hear that across a lot of things. Oh, I dabble in fishing, I dabble in surfing, I dabble in that, and a lot of the times they're just not serious about the thing they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Um, and it kind of shows that, okay, like, this person maybe wants to try this new thing, but I don't think their commitment's there. Trading especially, guys, like even I know people. My sister, I don't want to throw her under the bus, but 2 years ago when they started releasing the stimulus, she threw one of those stimulus checks into a crypto account, and she's bought whatever because so and so. And I was like, dude, I told her, you might as well just like give up that whole account. I don't know what I was trying to be loving in a way, but people are going to do what they're going to do.
Tough love.
Yeah, and I don't know what the status of that account is yet. I know unless she's like hiding multimillionaire status from me, I don't think it went anywhere. So, dabbling, don't really dabble. Like, read where in the journey does hobby turn into passion, or how do you get real serious from trading? How do you go past the hobby?
Yeah, I think point where I think you realize that, hey, maybe this isn't just a hobby. It's when you begin to ask questions. You begin to ask maybe even the harder questions, like, how can I make more? Or how can I actually not lose? How can you just you begin curious? You begin to be a lot more curious on how trading works. Like, okay, I noticed that every time I do this happens. Like, you just begin to start observing more too. And I think that's where that fine line between hobby and passion begins to correlate, because like I feel like passion and hobby kind of intertwines with each other, because like I think of surfing, for example, like it's not my passion. I love to do it. It's a hobby. I like doing it just for fun, but and I'm not too curious to know. So like people will be like, oh, what kind of board is that? This is a blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't even know, man. And I don't care to know. And so there I know it's not a passion, but I love to do it. It's just fun to do, but as far as like trading goes, I want to know every single ins and outs of trading and how the markets function, or at least the way I trade. I'm not really diving into stocks and stuff, but yeah, it's just that curiosity, man. How about you? What would you
That's
say
it.
when
When you start to just you can't stop thinking about trading.
yeah, yeah,
Right,
it lives
right.
in
You
your mind
just
rent free.
like sometimes you see those memes, right, where they have the couple. If they think it's like a cartoon, they're laying in bed, and then the guy is like in deep thought. He looks like, or he's just thinking about the markets, and the wife is like, I wonder, she. There's like a whole
He's
paragraph,
like,
right?
he's probably thinking about other girls.
Right,
He's
right,
like,
right.
if I put my stop loss at 4 instead of 5, like what? How much profit would I get? Like,
That's how you know.
Yeah, I seen a similar meme. It's like, well, normal people going to work, like dragging butt on Monday, like, traders on Monday,
they're like,
excited, running to their computer.
Right. We ready, bro. We ready.
we ready. We love the new week. Yeah.
So we got 10 tips on how to treat trading like a business. I mean, we kind of set the scene here, guys, on we need to be serious about trading, for those who are wanting to dabble, like your it's the decision of starting a business and then keep a successful one down the years. And so, we want to present 10 tips on how to treat it. So number one, right? You got to journal, you got to document. All businesses have books, right? Bookkeeping. You got to know what's coming in, what's coming out, and then you want to keep a record of everything, um, especially with yourself, the decisions you make while trading. You know, we also talk about documenting for tax purposes. So that's a good thing too. Like being able to document your purchases, be able to document if you're getting software, computer equipment. You want to be able to show that down the line and be clear. You got to be organized. I'm one of the worst people to stay organized. That's why I have my wife. But because we're business owners and whatnot, I have to go ahead and make sure I document stuff. I have to build that new habit because it's only gonna help our success later down the line. In the case you get audited, in the case you have to audit yourself, you're trading, you're going over your journal, you're like, dude, why do I keep making the same mistakes over and over, right? many times, and it's ongoing. This is not just one and done here. You have to continuously keep this up, and this is going to be a new habit to somewhat build, you know what I mean, if you haven't done so yet. We got number 2, you want to make smart decisions. Now, this was opposite of what I was doing in the first year, you know. I was, dude, like talking to whoever I knew in my circle of like, dude, do you know about trading? Yeah. He's like, and, you know, I had a friend. He's like, dude, this is the holy grail. This program, dude, check this out. He was showing me all this, and it was all fancy. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at, but all I knew it was, I think over $1,000 for the program, and it's just indicating it's order flow essentially or heat map. So I bought it, right? I was like, I didn't even think about um, how do I fit this in my system. Does this? I didn't even back test it. Obviously, that's how those software companies get you. They'll give you like a 7-day trial or whatever, and then boom, you got to go purchase it. So I wasn't even thinking about does this fit my edge? Does it add to my edge, or does it take it away? Does it distract me? You know, the computer power, the feeds. You don't need a personal assistant to whatever you're gonna be doing with trading. You want to keep your expenses small and invest in your.
Yeah.
What was
Can I say something
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick?
go.
Like, kind of going back to number 1, if it wasn't clear, we mean like in the form of journaling, like log all your wins, your losses, um log your stop losses, log when you enter the market, the times, like get that data. That's what we mean by journaling as far as treating trading like a business, and like getting in the habit of just recording everything. And I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I just wanted to be crystal clear about that's what we mean by journaling and bookkeeping as far as trading goes. But yeah, we can move on
Yeah,
to
so
step 2.
I'd like to jump in on that step 1 though. Journaling is very important, part of my journey as well. I realized that Thursday, Fridays are my worst day to trade. So
See, there
now
you go,
I
man.
go
That's
extremely
amazing.
small until I can figure out those days.
That, and that's thank you for sharing that, Sam, because that is, I want other traders to hear that too. Is that's a perfect example of why journaling is so important, and that's gonna eliminate unnecessary losses for Sam. And but like some other, you don't know that this is for whoever's listening. You don't know when your best times are if you're not journaling or you're not bookkeeping. So again, keep that in mind, keep it professional.
Yeah.
Like Glenn mentioned, log everything, just like literally everything. Whatever, you can't have too much data, because at least if when you have too much data, you could quantify that into lower frames. I started on the opposite end. I only was logging my entry and my exits. I wasn't logging anything else really. It was very, very rudimentary, very basic. And so yeah, just I don't want to keep beating this one, but
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for sharing that, Sam. That's really key. That's a testament to why journaling is so important.
Another thing to one more thing to add on to journaling
Yeah, please.
would be like the power of your calendar, guys. Your schedule. Being able to utilize we have 168 hours a week, and being able to utilize those times, being able to control somewhat our time, and then documenting, okay, I'm blocking off from 10 to 11 because I need to go and review my journal, or I'm blocking off this time because I'm jumping on topic Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like those are different things throughout the whole week. That's going to be something key to jot down and then follow through with it, because your calendar is going to be your ultimate, one of the main tools to keep you accountable, keep you in check, keep you going to the level you want to go. So we got making smart decisions. I mean, don't get shiny object syndrome. You know,
There
I
you go.
easily fall for that before. I've built when you're making smart decisions, that equals discipline.
Yeah, go. I was just thinking, like, how do we know that we're making the smart decisions? Because I could buy a course that I thought was a smart decision and essentially isn't a smart decision. I think obviously with making smart decision, it's being due diligence. Like make sure, like, do I really need 2 monitors? Do I really need this program? And we want to convince ourselves that we do because that's something we want. But the smarter decision is kind of taking a step back. And then this kind of leads into step 3 is becoming that stoic mindset.
Stoic.
Yeah, I
You
like
can go
that.
read it
Yeah.
off, bro.
Yeah. Keep your emotions out of the trades. I put keep your emotions out of your effing trades because I want to emphasize that. When trading, like, don't trade off of emotions. That's exactly what it is. You know, businesses in general, like, they have no emotions. They're an entity. And this is again relating to how we treat trading like a business. They're very stoic as businesses, and as traders, we need to be stoic as well. We shouldn't have any emotions. And a question that I love to ask when it comes to emotions is like, would you rather be right or would you rather make profits? And I'll take the profits any day. I'm more than happy to be wrong 90% of the time, as long as I'm making those profits, you know? And that's something that's very hard to come to grasp with as a trader, for sure. It's taking me time. And okay, and I like asking myself that too. When I'm in a trade, I'm like, okay, Reed, are you trying to be right now? Or are you following your plan? If you follow your plan, you're going to make profit. So just stick to the plan. That's kind of taking me out of my emotional state of fear or greed.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to make the decisions on what's going to move the needle on either your self development, your trading, your habits, your decision making. That's where you want to kind of base on making the decisions. I mean, this is kind of stoic is a term that we use. We're not saying to completely get rid of your emotions and be a robot. No.
Because we can't. Emotions will
Yeah,
always be there. That's a
it'll
really
always
good
be there.
point. Emotions will always be there. Being stoic in the sense is just acknowledging those emotions, but not trading with those emotions.
Absolutely. Number 4, we got expenses. Expenses, losses are expected, and if we're looking at it as a business, we're counting the losses as expenses of running a business, dude. It's tuition. What else do you call losses? It's just the name of the game, right? So at
Yep.
the end of the day, you want to keep on focusing on your capital, learn how to grow it, and then you also want to learn how to take advantage of the expenses. So when you have a business, you know you're going to have expenses no matter what. I don't care what field you're going to be in. So especially in traders, we do have expenses, and we can learn how to utilize them. We can learn how to use the expenses to bring down our profit at the or total and net income at the end of the day, and then use that for our tax advantages. I'm not a tax professional, but the more you learn, the more you earn, guys. When you start diving into that, having those big tax bill problems, that's a good problem to have, dude. I want to pay Uncle Sam 6 figures for a year. You know what I mean? I want to, because that shows that, dude, I'm doing something right, that my income is growing, and on all that. So, but when starting out or first few years, it's just wise to keep the expenses down. You know what I mean? It's different when you're investing in yourself, and that's another point we're going to be sharing later. But Reed, did you want to say anything about expenses?
Yeah, so I kind of see it as traders. When we think of expenses, we use those losses, right? We use those losses as a benefit. So in businesses, in general, like, let's say you go out to dinner and you discuss business, you're gonna write that off, that dinner, as long as you talk about the business, you could write that off for taxes at the end of the year. And that's kind of just like one example. Whereas like in trading, when we talk about expenses, you use the losses as your benefit, or an expense, in the sense that you look back on your losses and you say, in like, okay, where can I learn from here? That's kind of like what I take away from expenses in trading. That's like, any loss is an expense, and then every loss is a learning experience.
Oh, there you go. That's good. That's good. So beyond the paper, beyond the P&L, you get the experience with losses.
Yeah.
Number 5, cutting your losses. So I wanted to put a picture of CNN Plus, but I couldn't find one. And plus, this is recorded, so I don't want them coming after us. But if you guys heard of the CNN Plus app being shut down recently in the past few months, That would be a prime example. That was just a big company. They launched that app or whatever, and then it wasn't doing good, so they cut the loss. Boom, snip, snip. Right? And so if the trade isn't making money or it's not a part of your edge, cut it out. Don't hang on to the losers. Use stop losses. Um, no, this isn't new, right? But it's a good reminder. And at the end of the day, like this, I think this saying, there's that saying by what's his name? Um, Let your winners run, cut your losses. The
Shoot, I
guy
don't know.
long time ago he said that. It was from the podcast, bro. It'll come to me after. It'll come to me. But
Yeah, no
that
worries.
whole that whole line, cut your
Basso?
losses. Huh?
Is it Basso?
No, way
No.
before, like 18,
Oh, okay,
nineteen
okay.
hundreds, bro. 1800s.
Oh, okay.
David
Uh,
Ricardo.
oh,
Ricardo.
okay.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
on.
He
I wasn't even thinking that, but right on. So what did
yeah,
you
cutting
say?
your
Can you
losses.
say it clear again one more time?
It was I gotta go look up the exact words, but in the realm of keep your winners, uh, keep your winners and cut your losses short.
Yeah, like hold
And
on to your winners, cut
yeah,
your
hold on to
losses
it.
fast,
Yeah, and so he
essentially.
figured that out back in the 1800s, guys. Jeez.
Yeah. So that means it's a strong testament to that saying, right? And I think one thing that like business wise comes to mind is like if something's not working in your business, you're gonna cut that no matter how much you've invested in it. So like I think Google Glass, that's like the first thing I thought of in cutting your losses as a business. They were hyping it up and they put a lot of research and development into it, but they ended up cutting it ultimately. And I think this is kind of a little advanced here, but I want to go into it because it's important that something that may not work now for you doesn't mean it may not work in the future. So like I think Google Glass was just ahead of its time at the time. And like now we're seeing a lot more companies like Ray-Ban and everything create these smart glasses, right? And maybe now it's ready. So maybe as a trader, those losses currently right now, maybe you're just not ready for that edge or that strategy to work out. So I mean that's something to keep in mind. But again, that's going to go back to making smart decisions and journaling, and that's you only find out that way. But just cutting your losses. You want on a statistical edge, you want to be sure that you're in the duration, like time duration in your profits longer, winning trades longer than you are in your losing trades. And that's a really good sign of like how you're trading.
Yeah.
So that's something that people could keep track of for sure, whoever's listening.
Yeah. One more thing with cutting your losses, especially in the market, right? And say you get into a trade, hit your stop loss, you cut your loss, you're out. And in that same pair, the same market, you get another entry. You get in, hit your stop, cut your loss, out. The third time you get another proper signal, you get in, and then it's a runner, right? And then it creates a nice profit for you. That scenario happens frequently with a lot of traders, and it it can steer you off course because you can get discouraged of the first two losses. But the other thing to keep in mind is that when you hit your stop loss, you save money. You don't, you know what I mean? Your stop loss prevented you from losing way more money if you didn't have one or if you didn't cut it
Absolutely.
immediately.
Good point. Yeah.
So that's something to consider when you are there. Like, not a lot of people look at the entire downside if they were still holding on to that trade. Um, and that's the name of the game. Like, that's where your probability has to come in, your edge, your expected win rate, strike rate. Those things are to consider with coming up and cutting your losses. And
I have
being disciplined.
one more too
Yeah,
is
yeah.
if you're trading a stock with your edge or your strategy, or like for me, it's pairs. So Forex pairs, I realized that I got rid of I think it was like Kiwi Swiss a long time ago because it was one of my biggest losing pairs. Even no matter the risk I took, no matter like I would use the same risk, I would use the same edge. It just wasn't working out. So that's another way to cut your losses. Cut that specific pair or stock or tool, whatever you're trading, and if it's not working, over the course of, let's say, 1,000 trades or 100 trades, then it's okay to cut that pair out of your strategy. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean your strategy doesn't work. It just means that the strategy doesn't work with that pair at given times, you know?
So we gotta reach up for new people. Reach up for new people, meaning, um, so like, this is how I met Reed. Like, one day saw him on social media, and I was like, dude, let me go message this guy. You know, not knowing anything else that we'd build this thing together. Increasing your network, go out, meet new people. You want to, if it's traders you want to be like, people you look up to, it's going to help increase confidence and accountability. You can either learn from them directly, right, which is great, and then or indirectly, meaning books, podcasts, courses, videos, and with technology nowadays, we have so much resources at our fingertips where it's almost inexcusable to not learn from these people, not being able to connect, follow Peter Brandt, Tom Basso, all these traders that's active on social media. That's it. Like, all you gotta do is follow. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. You just gotta go in, invest the time, invest the work, the effort to go and start learning about them. So, but because it's being here on the island, it's few and far in between to go find local traders, right? But at the same time, finding people to learn from, to expand our current situation, that's the hard thing that a lot of people deal with. And so we want to bring that and let people be aware that, don't settle for being content with where you're at. You know what I mean? There's somebody out there has that one solution for you to change your life, right? They always say you're one person away from changing your life, one relationship away or whatever. Someone's out there, dude. Someone's out there. Reed, you want to add anything to this?
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, just reach out to people. Social media is an amazing tool that we could use in this day and age if we use it right. One thing I've learned over the last 2 months, man, I've been on Twitter a lot more, active on Twitter a lot. And I realized, like, just people asking people like Steve Burns questions. You don't see it in comments on Instagram specifically on him responding to people, but on Twitter you see a lot more professionals responding to each other in the comments with questions and everything. So I mean, I've learned a lot just through that, and just through, like you said, indirect observation. And I'm not even the one asking those questions, but there's questions that resonate with me. And so just literally just reaching out to people through social media is something that I think people don't do enough of.
Yeah.
It's okay to ask.
There's a photo of Uncle Warren. Best investment in yourself. Best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. So continuing education, number 7. Investments in yourself. Don't stop learning. Go ahead, join the conference, join the webinar, the mastermind, etc. Books, meetups, anything to continue your journey in learning. Because even to this day, that guy, even though he's super wealthy, he'll still read tons and tons of books. He won't stop. Same for
learning never stops.
Right. So you always want to be a student to the market and yourself. You want to, you don't have to just read trading books. You can read all these other books, whatever you can be interested in, as long as you're in the action of being proactive in learning. And that's one key thing too for expenses. IRS will reward you if you are making investments in yourself or your business. Meaning, you can go ahead and go to those conferences in the mainland, write that whole sucking trip off, right? They'll cover, you know what I mean? Then you can bring that against your overall income, and it's going to help with your tax bill. So that's how you're able to go ahead and write off these trips. If you're using most of the 50% of the trip for a business or meeting, whatever, then that's an opportunity, and you're going to get the experience there. You're going to get the content, learn. You made that big step of investing in yourself. That's the biggest thing. People will be so quick They're so quick to jump on the next NFT, the next crypto, and make a big bet on those things before they make a big bet on themselves.
This is
You know?
true. You know, in their defense, they'll be like, "Oh, this is me investing in myself. I'm betting against
Bullshit, bro. That's bullshit.
trust." That's true. Really?
Right.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
like it's also good to note that there's a lot of scams out there, so know who you're learning from.
Absolutely. Right. Be
Yeah.
smart. That's the point number 2, I think.
Yeah.
Number two, be
Make
smart,
smart
right?
decisions.
Trust but verify, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
right. Even if it's a bad course, at least you learn that it's a bad course that you bought. And then hopefully you got something from it. Maybe for those who haven't been scammed or suckered into buying a course yet, right? Once they get their feet wet, they actually go through it, right? And they actually gain experience. So it wasn't a total loss, you know? How's that, Uncle?
I,
But yeah, like
yeah, I'm always the optimist, man. Like no matter what
Other guys.
how's it, Uncle? Uh no matter how um scammy a company may be, I still feel like there's value in it, in a sense. Like maybe you meet someone through networking, maybe there's just one little word that they use that all of a sudden a little thing clicks, and it kind of builds that. It's like a Lego, it kind of clicks
yeah,
together, and then it just starts building things. So but I think that's also something to take in mind, is like, don't be so quick to be like, oh, this, I got scammed, screw this, and you throw everything that they said out. I'm sure there was some truths in there that actually made sense. And so like that's how I view it. You got to have an open mind, even though like I think I'm getting scammed, but I learned a little bit, you know? So I mean, like just keep that in mind. Do continue to educate yourself, but yeah, be careful of who you're getting your education from.
yeah. I mean, if you're not getting good content, hopefully there's someone in the room or someone that you meet that's gonna help. That's gonna be worth the whole investment. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely, definitely.
It's all good. I mean, I don't think I've spent a bunch of money investing in ourselves, and I don't think I made a bad investment yet. Like even the books, I order, you know, 30, 40, $50 books on, like I bought this trading book. It was like over $100. And this book is thick, bro. Let me give me a
Yeah,
second.
please
Let me
pull it
get
up.
it.
I gotta see this $100 trading book, bro. I don't know if if you
Bro,
shared this.
Perry
Oh,
Kaufman. Look how thick this bug is. This is
wow.
college.
So you
Look
never
how,
even started it, is what
bruh,
you're
I
saying.
never even started them, bruh. Look at this
So
thing.
Glenn right now is showing, for like the recording, Glenn is showing this massive, it looks like a dictionary, like one of
Bro,
those Webster's dictionary, trading systems and methods.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Perry
who's the author,
Kaufman.
Glenn? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Perry J. Kaufman. I bought this
Harry.
book years ago on Amazon. It was over $100. And I was like, bro, this is my answer to everything.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my mindset, right? And so I was willing to drop $100 on this big ass book. I've never really even read a whole page yet. You know what I mean? It's crazy,
Uh,
but it's not a bad investment because I
right,
know
right.
probably there, if I take the time and go through it, there will be some gold in here. Okay, if anyone wants to go and borrow the book and read it for me and give me some good nuggets,
I was
I'll
just
be
about to
willing.
ask you, can I borrow this real quick, Glenn? Let me highlight some things. I love
No,
it.
this is dense. This has a lot of data, and I take responsibility for not diving into it. I'm sure that's gonna help me for sure.
Cool, man. Right
Yeah.
on. Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
So we are at number 8. This is a good one, right? Do you want to operate the business or your trading as per your personality? And this one took me about a year and a half to understand, because when I was starting out in trading, I started on the course, and I tried the whole day trading thing, intraday, and for some reason I couldn't make it fit. It was like that puzzle piece. It looked good, but I couldn't make it fit. I could not make it work for myself. You have to go into business with the thing you want to do, right? What makes most sense? What can you follow easily? What can you understand? What's the most probable times to use that strategy to make money? There are millions of similar businesses out there but they don't always appeal to the customer, you know? Walmart shoppers are different shoppers than Target, right? You got you got people that shop at Bloomingdale's and Nordstrom, and you got people that shop at other stores, and so different deal, you know, different deal. People have like different things, and so when you're going and approaching the market, you have to find a system that fits you, find a risk management that fits you, find the way you make decisions. A lot of it's about you.
It's a you game in the end.
So I mean, you got to figure out what makes sense. You got to go through that whole thing, whatever the journey is going to be for you, to really niche down into that thing. My wife and I have a wedding media business. There's tons of this whole island has a lot of competition. There's a lot of people out here doing the same thing, but we've able to separate ourselves enough. We're standing out from the crowd. We're at the cheapest too. We are able to charge higher prices because we know how to operate based on our personality. We know how to do business with us, because how else you gonna to stand out? You know what I mean? You have to go ahead and create an experience for your customer, and so you're in trading. We are our own customer, or per se. So we gotta go figure that out. We gotta go figure out how it fits our personality.
Yeah, like it makes me think like I'm not gonna open up a baking business if I want to do drone business. You know, you're gonna do what fits your personality and what you know. Same like trading. It's like I'm not gonna do a fundamental strategy if I like technical strategy. I don't like looking at the news or hearing about the news, so I'm gonna focus on the trading side of things. I mean, technical side of things, excuse me. Yeah, 9, scaling. So once your trading is going along and you're consistent, being much more, yeah, but much more consistent, look to figure out how to increase your trading account size. And don't get us wrong, mistake this one. We're not saying risk more. We're saying how to grow your account more. So when business is going, you'll add employees, you train them how to replicate your process. You eventually have to learn how to manage bigger account sizes. So if we're only operating like in a business operating with one person, you're going to need to learn how, okay, if you're expanding, the demand is more than what you can actually supply. You're going to have to expand your business. You're going to have to hire more employees. And this goes with trading. So think of your employees as those dollar signs, you know, so it's $100. You got 100 employees working for you. Whereas, okay, now I'm going to get $1,000. I'm going to keep growing this. Now let's see how high I could really go with, you know, $1 million account. I have 1 million workers, but now how am I going to trade that? And again, you're going to keep your same risk management. You're going to keep the same habits that we've just discussed in journaling and everything. Everything's going to remain the same, but maybe this is a little bit more different, where psychology will begin to take a lot more hold on your trading. So like this is scaling in our current day and age right now. We're very blessed to live in the time that we do, because it was scaling. Now we could scale $2,000 account to a $325,000 account with my Forex funds. We could scale a demo account trading literally $0 to, or well, I would say you will invest $500 into FTMO, and they'll give you a $200,000 account when you're able to prove yourself in that consistent and proper risk management. So I mean, that's the scaling is totally possible, and we put this at 9 and towards the end, because this is kind of like one of the last things that you want to do as a business. You're not going to scale the moment you open your business. Same with trading. You're not going to look for that $100,000 account as soon as you make 1 month profit. You know, you need that time tested strategy. Yeah, so scaling is basically growing your account size. So instead of trading $100, so the question asks, if anyone's listening, it's can we explain scaling specifically? So kind of just went over it. It's basically, if you start with $100 account, scaling is like, okay, I'm going to grow my account. think of it as like adding 300, adding 500, adding 1,000, adding 2,000. That's what scaling your account is. But with that scale, it comes more dollar signs, more zeros, right? And a professional trader will realize it's the same thing. You're doing the exact same things. It's just sometimes seeing that number go from 1 0 and you add 3 more zeros, that kind of, there's new stresses, there's new fears, there's new greeds. Like, oh my goodness, I could make a whole year's worth in this one trade. And that's where, like, again, this is why we put it last, kind of more when your business is running and going. So that's enough about scaling. But anything you got to say, Glenn?
No, that's good because, just to put in perspective, guys, 2%, if you're risking 2% on a trade on $1,000 account, that's going to be $20. If you're risking 2% on $1 million account, that's $20,000. Okay. And so that's where the scaling is. That's the difference of the scale right there, right? If your goal is to make, X amount of dollars per trade, it's going to be easier when you have a bigger size account, right? But at the same time, your losses can be bigger as well. So you always got to keep that in perspective. The other thing too, if you're trading futures, Forex, a lot of the times we get so used to putting in a certain amount of lot size. For example, we're going to trade 0.5 lot or 1 lot. And then say we're on a good winning streak and our account is growing. A lot of people have that like a mental block when it comes to trading according to their size, according to their current size. I made 10%, right? But I'm still trading the 1 lot. I need to reflect my trading size based on my total current account size. So that way I stay relevant. I'm still leveraging correctly rather than under leveraging. Because when you under leverage, when because mentally you're like, oh yeah, I'm comfortable here, that's gonna affect your profits. You know what I mean? And so that's another addition to scaling. You have to learn how to scale, not just with your dollars, with your account. You have to learn how to scale your trading as well, your trading decisions, right?
You said a key word there, Glenn. You said where you're comfortable. And it
Right.
kind of just made me think the whole thing is like you're really stepping out of your comfort zone here. When you're expanding, it's always you're stepping out into discomfort. So that's a really good point. Thanks for
Yeah,
saying that.
for sure, for sure. And we got number 10, guys. Number 10, we made it. It's a performance review. So you want to do this annually, biannually, quarterly, right? It's like a earnings review for companies um, every quarter, or however those equity companies, the Apple, whatever, they announce their earnings announcements, right? For the stockholders, shareholders. And that's something to consider when you guys are in the journey. You want to look over your stats, right? Earlier, Sam pointed out he doesn't trade Thursday, Fridays because historically it hasn't been good to him. So that's going to be a good performance review. And so, where you guys stand, how is it performing in the current market conditions? What can you guys do to improve upon? What can you guys do to minimize your losses, minimize your expenses? It's just an overall assessment, and that's really good. Like, you can do this. It hasn't be just trading. You can do this outside of trading. You can be like, all right, we all have the same amount of hours in a week or a day. Where is my time going to? I need to spend a good amount of time with my family. I need to spend a good amount of time for keeping myself healthy, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So those are good. Like anything important you want to keep stats on, anything important you want to not neglect, right? And so be aware of them. And this is where kind of that performance review comes in. Just like how I go by, yeah, Mark. Lots of action in the markets right now. So for sure, guys. With that kind of sums up tonight's review. This is gonna be recorded, guys. I mean, hope you guys took notes. If you guys missed out, rewatch it. We're gonna be posting it up. But as far as that, like, you guys got any questions, any comments? What resonated with you? Love to for you guys to share.
Yeah. Any feedback? We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I'll
Nice.
jump in here.
Yeah, what's up, Sam?
Yeah, no, all this is really great. A lot of it is how I changed myself around with the journaling, with respecting my edge, my losses. I had to use hard stops because my mind always plays tricks on me. It'll make me think I want to be right, or nowadays I don't. I try to keep it as automated and robotic as I can. Um, Obviously, emotions still go in there. So I'm still learning. Building a network. I'm here with you guys, sharing ideas. My style is completely different from you guys.
Love
I'm,
it. Yes.
I'm in on average 20 minutes in a trade. You guys are probably in a lot longer. So yeah, no, this is great. I love it. It's like a lot of stuff that during my journey I've come to understand on my own with just the screen time and just you paying that market tuition. And it's nice that you guys are sharing this with um, with the community. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, we should do a bonus, right? Because Sam gifted everyone this. The grit, the putting in the work, you know, that's part of running a business, right? And so he was able to learn a lot of these lessons or these tips throughout his journey, throughout putting in the work, putting in the screen time, not giving up, getting punched in the face by the market, losing money. You know, grit is going to be able to allow you to go from beginner, hobbyist, dabbler to becoming a great trader. You know, you gotta have to love the market. You can't just punch out on Friday when the market closes. All right. Some people think that, oh, yeah, my job is done. I'm done trading for the week. I'm going to go enjoy the weekend. Yeah, there's going to be times where you can enjoy the weekend. But if you're starting out, you need to put in the work. Saturdays, Sundays when you can, right? Even at nighttime, after work, whatever, do what you guys got to do to put in that work to go ahead and get that growth going, get the momentum going, and that kind of just wanted to slipstream with what Sam was saying.
Grit is another great topic to just discuss because I love that topic. And like I mean there's only so much time in the day, and like even if it's only 10 minutes, it has to be deliberate work. So if
Yeah.
you're gonna look at Euro USD, only look at Euro USD, don't have anything open, don't have other tabs, don't have your phone by you. I debate even with music. Music can be a distractor, even if it's calm and classical. Just stay in the zone. You're trading in the zone. Only focus with deliberate action on what you're doing when you're putting in that work. But I'm gonna just pause my own mouth here because I love that. I love Grit. Grit by Angela Duckworth, by the way. So the book is called Grit. The author is Angela Duckworth. Highly recommend anyone read that book. Very relatable to trading and just in life. My question: what type of business license do you have for trading? So Glenn and I, yes, Hawaii Trading Academy is sorry, the question to be clear is what type of business license y'all have for trading. So as far as trading goes, we don't have, and you don't need a business license for retail traders. But as far as like what Glenn and I do, like we're educators. So we do have a LLC, and but that has nothing to do with trading. Like Sam, you don't need a business license. Uncle Tony, you don't need a business license,
Right,
or
right.
it's just totally different. So for trading, like let's say you get funded by FTMO, you don't need a license, which is so cool.
What about a 1099?
So 1099 will come from the prop firm.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
So
they'll provide everything for you. Your broker will.
right.
Okay.
So say for example you have a broker, and you're trading your own account. A lot of my previous brokers, they would send me I think it would be a form of a 1099. They'll send me a tax form at the end of the year, and they'll put out my losses, my overall profit for the year, and then that's the thing I'm gonna go give to my tax guy. But if you're this is what my tax guy told me. I mean, it's not the solid concrete advice, but if he said if you're constantly bringing over 50, 60K a year just trading, then he would advise to open up some sort of partner, limited LLC, or some sort of
Sole
proprietor,
proprietorship.
some sort of vehicle where you can start taking advantage of the different tax breaks that those vehicles offer for you. Like
Yeah,
I
and that's
said,
just like, yeah, sorry, my bad.
no, no,
Go
no. I
on.
mean, starting out, that shouldn't be a big concern
Yeah.
of yours at the moment. But later in the years, hopefully next year you'll be just banging profits. Be like, oh, dude, I got a big tax bill. Okay, now you got to go to your tax guy and be like, how do I keep most of the money that I earned? You know what I mean? Oh, open up this business. Okay, good. That would be the kind of the scenario where you would need to do that.
So here's a question. Are you guys aware of any tax professionals or accountant that specialize in trading here on island?
I personally don't, but I would love to hear that person. I'm looking for it myself. I asked so one of our good friends, Mary's friend, my wife's friend, is a tax professional, and I asked that exact same question, and they don't have one either, man. So, which is crazy.
What was the question?
If there's a specific tax person, like a CPA, who specifically deals with like retail traders.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
like expenses, how we could write off certain expenses and how to work the
my
system.
personal CPA, he trades himself. I think he trades options. So he has some sort of understanding with the whole tax structure behind, trading, short-term gain, all that idea. He's not specifically like his title isn't specifically trading CPA. You know what I mean? He'll take care of
Yeah.
businesses, individuals, and whatnot. So, but like I said, he does have knowledge and experience on being both ends. So, but yeah, I'm still looking for that tax guy out there. I don't
And
know.
I was just kind of thinking about it because, like, with the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, that's the name, right? I believe like it's a flat percentage rate with the state and the federal, right? So it's like there's really no tax breaks per se. Yeah, maybe like just education or what expenses you used for your trading. But that goes back to what Glenn was saying. Like you could only claim those if you have an LLC. But
Yeah.
I mean that's when
Well, you can register as a trader, so you're not getting wash sales, like say,
Oh yeah,
taking
for
long.
stocks, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think there's like some limitations, and maybe off topic. You have to make so many trades a year in order to qualify for that trader status.
And
Yeah.
and I think you're supposed to have a certain account size minimum account size.
Yeah,
With
I think.
a certain trade. I think I'm familiar with that, but yeah, again, this is all like over our heads, guys. So don't take our word for it. We may be wrong in this, and if you're a tax person, please reach out to us. We'd love to know more.
Awesome.
But,
Awesome.
yeah, great conversation. Yeah, thanks
I mean,
for that.
we're 3 minutes past 8, and want to respect you guys' time because, for those just getting home and whatnot, or got to spend time with the fam. Thanks for jumping on. This was a great Trading Topic Tuesdays. Stay tuned for the replay. This is really good. I mean, we'll go and put it up in the Mighty Networks when it's available, guys. On that note, appreciate all you guys jumping on. Great to see all your faces. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, aloha, guys. Mahalo.